Don't listen to bodybuilders about recovery as an athlete. Here is why. Let's look at cold exposure that's shit on by bodybuilders and every single motherfucking YouTube video I've seen, basically. So, cold exposure. What do they tell you? Well, if you do cold exposure after training, it should decrease inflammation. Well, it does that. So, and when it decreases inflammation, that's like one of the stuff that initiates adaptation, as like your muscles will grow. And if you decrease that, they are saying that your muscle growth will suffer. And that makes sense. But none of the people that talk about this went like the extra few steps in learning to actually like see that yeah, it does that, but you need to do cold exposure of like 2 to 3 months to have like that effect. So that's one thing. Imagine like any bodybuilder if would go train and afterwards have like cold plunge. It's like what's 2 degree water. Nothing would happen. They would just feel better. Nothing would happen. But if they do it for like 2 to 3 months every day after training, then the muscle growth will like plummet like 40% lower. So yeah. So if you do it like once a week, even as a bodybuilder, it's like after gym, nothing. And what they don't tell you, that the water needs to be fucking cold. It's not like 15-degree water, like 12-degree water won't do that. If it will decrease, if you will do it for the 2-3 months, it will decrease muscle growth by like 10%, 20%, That maybe you will even make the muscle back because of the extra recovery from that, So basically it needs to be like, I guess like from like 3 to like 0 degrees Celsius, water. Basically like cold plunge. That's when you will have the rapid effect. And the colder the water, the better you recover. Basically, the more inflammation you will like eliminate, basically. So yeah, and cold exposure isn't recovery, actually. The only thing that's recovery is foods, basically like nutrition, oxygen, and sleep. Those are the three things that actually like recover. Because cold exposure, it doesn't build, it doesn't repair the muscles. It doesn't like recover your CNS, your central nervous system. It just reduces inflammation and you're gonna feel better in the next training, basically. But if you eat the right food, you will feel better overall. So that's something. It's still good, but you just need to understand how it works. So I wouldn't rely overly on cold exposure. It's good if you do it at the right moment. It's you need to know when to do it. You need to know quite a bit of stuff about cold exposure. And one thing, if you want to completely like minimize, if you want to do it and you don't want to lose like the muscle, if you do it like 4 hours after training, nothing will happen. If you like want to do cold exposure as like a hobby, as people do it, you climb into like icy water for fun. Yeah. So, and you are training and you don't want to lose like the muscle. If you like do it every day basically, or like most of the days, if you wait like 4 to 6 hours after training, you're good. You're good to go. Okay, so let's look at another thing that bodybuilders or like the non-athlete active people shit on. That's foam rolling. So foam rolling, what does foam rolling do? It relaxes your muscles. But the special thing about foam rolling that you can do it before and after training. That's like the only recovery tool that it's really advised that you do it before and after training. Because it relaxes your muscles. But it relaxes the muscles in a specific way that it's good to be good for like training and good for like recovery afterwards. So the afterward part. How does it like? What does it do? Well, it relaxes your muscles like massage, but bit less, But if your relaxed muscles recover faster, more oxygen because muscles relaxed, more blood flow carries like nutrition and oxygen into the muscles. And oxygen repairs, protein synthesis and shit, protein repairs, carbs, your muscles get refilled. So yeah, that's good. And it will help you to turn on into like recovery mode. Your CNS will turn into parasympathetic mode. If you don't know, you have your central nervous system, and your central nervous system has two modes, synthetic and parasympathetic. When you're training, you are turned to synthetic mode. That's like, when you need to be like active, or like when somebody wants to kill you, your nervous system turns into synthetic mode. When you're training, you're in like a middle of the hard set, your nervous system turns to synthetic mode. Or when you're racing, your nervous system turns to synthetic mode. But most of the time, like 99% of the time, you should be turned to parasympathetic to recover. So that's what foam rolling supports that. And foam rolling won't have like a huge effect on recovery. Like if you do it, you won't know. If you do it once or twice, you won't notice anything. But now imagine doing it for a month straight, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years straight. Well, that will be a huge fucking difference in terms of recovery. So yeah. And the last thing, sauna. Well, with sauna there is a lot of fluff around it with recovery. Like for like cardiovascular health, yeah, it's okay, do it for it. But in terms of recovery, it's different. So, how does the sauna recover? It has two phases. The first is the one when you're in it, in the sauna. Basically, again, your muscles will get relaxed, more blood flow, more oxygen into the muscles, and more nutrition into the muscles. And that's how you will recover when you're in the sauna. And actually, when you're in the sauna, you're getting fatigued. Your nervous system is getting fatigued, basically because of the heat, It's not so natural that you're in like 100-degree, 110-degree, place. Our body isn't really used to it, and it really won't. It basically, in a sauna, you're turned to synthetic mode. So, yeah. And the second phase is after. After you come out of the sauna, you have this extra relaxation. Maybe if you ever done sauna, you just feel extra relaxed. Basically like a deep parasympathetic mode. And that's good. That's really, really good for recovery. And what you want to do is to just live in that moment, prolong it. Don't do anything like stressful, and stuff. Anything necessarily that will, turn the parasympathetic on and stuff. And basically, just chill. Read a book, like learn something or whatever. Just chilling, basically. The more you do it after, like you come out of the sauna, and for 1 to 2 hours you just chill. And that doesn't mean doing nothing, but nothing like crazy, you know what I mean. So yeah, that's the 3 stuff I want to talk about. Plus, all the recoveries videos, every shit I've seen, it doesn't ask its viewers one thing. Is how do you feel when you do it? Now here is the bell curve. So here are the people that are like, I don't like it, I won't do it, I don't like all exposure, it hurts, I won't do it. It doesn't make you, I don't do it, And here are the people who say, yeah, like, I saw the studies about cold exposure, I watched Ender Huberman talk about it, yeah, it's, well, and they're like, yeah, like, it's good, I do it. And here are the people who are like, I don't like cold exposure, I won't do it. you know. So basically, the best recovery method is the one that you do consistently and always. So yeah, basically, if you don't like something and if you're kind of feeling bad and you like won't do it, you know, once or twice because of that, you will lose recovery. But for example, if you like saunas more than cold exposure, then I would never advise you to do cold exposure instead of saunas. Well, sometimes I would kind of force you, yeah, get into the freaking icy water because you need that. But overall, the best recovery method is the one that you do always. And that's like, yeah, like 90% of recovery is, and nobody like tells this. And when you see like these videos, like, yeah, recovery methods, they're kind of all bullshit because, yeah, cold exposure, sauna, foam rolling, that really doesn't give you much recovery. What does give you much recovery, more specifically, like 90% of the recovery is good nutrition plus good sleep. That's 90% of the recovery. Literally, 90%. Good sleep and good nutrition, you know, if I have good nutrition, good nutritional timing, all the macro and micronutrients, and I have good sleep, I will recover better than someone who's spending literally like $500 a week, $1,500 a week or a month to recover better, or the massages, cryo chamber, oxygen chamber, all the expensive stuff. So basically, yeah, you really don't need to do any of this. Like foam rolling, that's good for like warm up and stuff. But overall, for recovery, good nutrition, good sleep, that's everything. So, yeah, this is everything I want to share today. I hope you will have a good rest of your day and a good recovery for the rest of your day. Goodbye.